Welcome into the Paul Farrington Show. Paul, joined by Jack Weinberger and Robert Ziggy Ziegler, out in Cambodia for an instant reaction to the Packers
Out in Cambodia.
Bears. Yeah, I know, out in Cambodia. To the Packers Bears wild card playoff game. Just another heartbreaking playoff loss, or another heartbreaking loss to the Bears for the Packers here, which, at 21-3, I'm getting texts. I tweeted out, Andy Herman sent us a chat that just said, God, this is beautiful. I'm getting texts from our friends who are Bears fans. It's just, I hate my life. Those were actually the texts we were getting. I can't do this anymore. I'm so sad, man. Like, seriously, so sad. And all of a sudden, coming out of half, Bears offense unstoppable. Packers can't move the ball. But yet again, here we were. I tweeted out kind of jokingly with 6.5 minutes left. Bears down double digits, down 2 scores, 6 minutes left in the game. They have the Packers right where they want them. And it was kind of the exact same ending outside of the muffed onside kick from that point.
And we were saying also throughout this entire game how this one game kind of summed up the entire Green Bay Packers season.
And the Bears. Both
it's
of them.
like Green Bay, it's like this team was Jekyll and Hyde. One week they can come out and look like, wow, this team's going to win the Super Bowl. Nobody can beat these guys. And the whole first half, that was going through my mind. I'm like, Seattle.
They look awesome.
I'm like, Seattle must be scared watching this game. Like, here's the Green Bay that is expected to be. And then second half, it's
an unexplainable collapse.
Yeah.
That was the whole Packers year.
That's what the Packers have been this entire season. And now what, to end 5 losses in a row to end the year?
It's unbelievable. Ziggy, so you're out in Cambodia. You're watching the game. It's like 8 o'clock in the morning.
He wakes up and throws the game on.
Yeah. What are your instant takeaways here? Hopefully you've had your cup of coffee or tea and you're good to go here.
Well, so I'll say you guys should have seen me 12 hours ago when this game ended over here. I was apoplectic.
Oh yeah.
Oh, that's right.
You saw
completely melt down.
Thanks for not spoiling it, though. Thanks for not spoiling it.
Yeah, you're welcome. Look, there's going to be a lot of hot takes coming from this game, and I certainly have a few. So many things for the Packers just went wrong, and it's the things Paul, you were saying this sums up the Green Bay Packers season. This sums up the Green Bay Packers decade. A quarterback can play at a really high level, but things don't work out quite for them. Special teams mishaps. How many years has it been that special teams has cost them game after game after game? We're not complaining that McManus is missing like a 62-yarder outdoor in Chicago. We're asking him to hit an extra point.
Oh, who's
the
we?
Defense playing really well for most of the game, but then letting up on the gas when they have a big lead and just giving up touchdown after touchdown. Not being able to get Caleb Williams on the ground. Like, this is who the Green Bay Packers have been for so long. And it's just tough to see the same problems emerge year after year and stop them from getting where they want to be. And honestly, something big is going to have to change in Green Bay if they want things to be different this year.
So let's get to the Packers in a minute here. Let's start with the Bears because they won the game.
I wanted to start with the Packers because I didn't want to have to do this, but I think I'm going to have to do this. I apologize to the Chicago Bears fans. I apologize to Chicago Nation. I apologize to Caleb Williams. I said the Chicago Bears were good, but I said that I didn't think this was this year. I thought that Caleb Williams wouldn't be quite ready for this game. I thought that Ben Johnson wouldn't be ready for this game. And after they failed to convert 4th down after 4th down, it looked like that was going to be right. But then came the 4th and 8. Everybody knows, every single person who watched this game knows what I'm talking about. Caleb Williams, 4th and 8, huge completion. I was wrong about Chicago. I was wrong about the Bears. Despite them starting slow, they got it done when it mattered most. And Caleb Williams and Ben Johnson, next year might be their year, but this year is too. And I'm sorry that I doubted you.
I mean,
you may as well go next.
I think Caleb Williams has watched this show and is ready at any moment to look into the camera and say, screw you, Jack Weinberg. I think I'm the reason he's had a fantastic sophomore year. I mean, it's hard not to come around. It's I've come so close to coming around for good, and then he does something so stupid. I'm like, oh, there's Caleb Williams that we know and love.
Well, then he does a bunch of stupid things, and then he does something unbelievable.
And then he does something unbelievable and wins a game like this, and he proves schmucks like me wrong.
So,
I was impressed. I was very, very impressed by Caleb Williams.
look, I mean, they the
My
most all time
throat's
comebacks.
getting red for Caleb Williams.
Most comebacks all time in the final 2 minutes. The Chicago Bears team 7, and what it came down to me, once again in this Packers Bears game in Chicago, Green Bay has Chicago in a 4th down with Chicago down 2 scores, with the ability to pretty much get a stop, get the ball back, and end the game. And we saw it. We saw Chicago convert a couple weeks ago, and they wind up getting the onside kick and winning the game. And today on 4th and 8, Caleb Williams, part of what makes sense about your apology here, Jack, is he has a bunch of inaccurate passes in a row, and you're like, all right, Caleb doesn't have it this drive. And then he just pulls out a scramble, falling backwards, 4th and 8 dot to save the season that only like 2 or 3 quarterbacks in the league can do.
And then also look at another, I know Moore dropped the ball, but another amazing throw.
No, Caleb Williams and the
DJ
Bears,
Moore.
They became unstoppable in the second half.
Yeah.
And we were watching the game, saying, all right, it's poor Green Bay not making that extra point. They can't tie it with a field goal here. And ultimately, I mean, that did wind up costing them. But I was half joking around, like, if this game continues, they're just going to lose because they can't stop them anyway. So, like, maybe it works out better that they just have an opportunity to go and win the game now with 15 seconds. But you got to give the Bears a lot of credit, because that first half, when you have the decision-making of Ben Johnson going against you, you can't pick up any fumbles. I mean, Green Bay scored 3 straight touchdown drives before they missed the 55-yarder. It felt dead. It felt completely dead, and they've been resilient all year long. I mean, you got to give the Bears a lot of props. There's a lot of fight in that team, and they're going to be hosting a second-round game.
I mean, this Bears team is good. I mean, they have a plethora of weapons. This Colston Loveland, he's Rob Gronkowski tonight. DJ Moore and Luther Burden, who got in the end zone. Zacchaeus got in the end zone. Like, Caleb Williams is playing very good football, and he has a good number of weapons around him. Like, when this Bears offense is playing like they did in that second half, especially in Soldier Field, they're not going to be easy to beat.
Look, we might very well be upset that, like, I just can't see the Bears going to Super Bowl. Like, again, Weston's a great guy. His brother. No. What I'm saying is I don't want to see that happen, because I love Weston. Love his brother Emerson. Big Bears fans. A lot of friends who are Bears
like
fans.
Emerson. I have beef with Emerson.
We have a lot of friends who are Bears fans.
I
just don't know if I could take. I don't know if I could take a Bears Super Bowl before us in my lifetime, Ziggy.
No. Don't worry. You know what's going to happen.
Rodgers Bears.
They'll get there, and Rodgers will put them in their place.
This is just the perfect Bears season. It went from absolute nightmare, and again, we talked about on the show, it wasn't a failed season if they lost this game, unless they lost by 100, and it felt like they were going to lose 100-0 at one point tonight. And to have the turnaround, come back again against Green Bay, it's just the perfect Chicago Bears season. You couldn't script anything better.
The flag, I think, about that comeback is this wasn't the way a lot of the Bears' comebacks have been, where fluky things started breaking their way, right? You look at the last Green Bay of the onside kick. The fluky things all broke against Chicago. They had bad luck on 4th down. The Packers couldn't hold on to the ball, but they kept recovering it. Like, there were so many opportunities that the Bears had for things to break their way, and it all broke for Green Bay. The difference in the second half was the Chicago Bears played much better football. As good as the Packers played in the first half, the Bears played even better than that in the second.
Yeah, I mean, it was like the second half looked like a professional team against a college team. I mean, they kicked the living crap out of Green Bay the entire second half.
Except for the Golden touchdown drive, where you thought Green Bay locked it up. And because Green Bay had such a big lead, you thought that after Golden scored, all right, that's enough. That's all they needed to do.
But then even, like, coming off a great first half, like Josh Jacobs, I think every time he got the ball in the second half was tackled behind the line of scrimmage. Every single time.
I was ready to come on here at halftime, and I was ready to say the Packers look good enough to, really make a run here.
The Bears got their cheese grater
to really make a run. But not only that, but I was going to say Ben Johnson the moment was clearly too much for him.
Look at that.
Going forward on 4th and 4, Chicago's going nuts right now. Going forward on 4th and 4 from your own 32-yard line, down 2 scores, is just insane. And it's fine to be aggressive, but there is a line that you cross, and like that, to me, I thought it was going to cost them the game when that happened, because the momentum was out of control. But credit to them. They just don't stop fighting. On the other side, if you're a Packers fan and this is where we could get into more Packer conversation here. You are just sick to your stomach.
At least,
And I don't blame you.
can I tell them the silver lining?
What?
The silver lining for the Packer fans is Aaron Rodgers is still in the playoffs.
Yeah.
That's the silver lining. That's not a silver lining? You don't think?
Yeah, I mean, Paul, you mentioned Andy. I tuned into his live stream. He is
Andy.
apoplectic, and I don't know. Like we talk about the Minnesota Vikings and the misfortune that we have, and we have a lot. But things over the past decade have not been much better if you're a Packers fan, right? This was a classic Minnesota Vikings season, right? Things look good. Players start getting injured. You start winning games anyway. You've got a quarterback who's playing okay. You go to the playoffs. You get a big lead. Your kicker just starts missing all over the place. Like, this was a crushing loss for Green Bay. And the number one question is going to be who to blame.
Look, I want to go to because there's so many different things you can point to now, but
and this is the question about number one. Who do you blame? You get one pick. Who's the number one person to blame for this?
The kicker.
Because whoever that is gone.
Yeah. McManus to me gets most of the blame.
The kicker.
Obviously, 55-yarders, it's a long kick, especially in those conditions. You can let that go, but it actually, to me, it felt like when he missed that kick, I was like, you gave the Bears a smidge there, right? And then they come out and get the stop and score. It's like, so McManus missing the extra point and the kick at the end. I mean, that's what did it, right? They lost by 4 points. Green Bay wins this football game if McManus makes an extra point and a 44-yard field goal.
The Packers, though, they really did all they could. Like, they were playing with fire the entire second half.
Oh,
they
100%.
They did all they could to let Chicago back into the game.
I mean, you have to look at LaFleur, too. And I was getting texts from Packers fans, a lot of our friends who were just saying it's time to let LaFleur go. And that's, look at the poll right now. Ziggy, you put the poll out, right? Do you fire Matt LaFleur? It's 67% yes. And at halftime of this game, that made you, like, you heard that question and you're like, yeah, I mean, what are you kidding me? Like,
and he's calling the play where he's throwing a little screen to the offensive lineman and the guy fumbles.
They lost control. I could not believe, Ziggy, when they ran the screen pass on their 5-yard line. Now, I think it had to have been a broken play because Love was running around his end zone and just dumped it off to the offensive lineman. I don't know why I have to imagine that was just a broken play where he was an eligible receiver. It just made no sense to me. We'll have to go back and watch it.
I watched it back a couple times. That's definitely what it was. He was just trying to get the ball to someone.
Okay, that makes more sense. But you also look at the end of the game, guys. You have the defense completely out of sorts. You have to blow a timeout. And when obviously that came back to haunt them with the injury, with the 10-second runoff, you come out of a timeout on that drive and you have a delay a game. I mean, it's just things that couldn't happen. And you could see the meltdown coming from really, early in the third quarter. You could see the world where it happened. And Chicago just wouldn't take the bait that Green Bay was saying, please win this game, win this game. And Chicago kept making mistakes. Green Bay, was coming up with fourth down stops when they needed it a couple times. And finally, it just caught up to them. And the missed kicks and the complete defensive collapse. I mean, Halfley gets a lot of blame too. How you have no one covering Swift on that little, flat route that he ran late in the game? Like, it was just a complete collapse of the coaching staff and McManus to me.
And I mean, also, like, the Packers offense too, it felt like they didn't even get one first down the entire second half. I mean, they were going 3 and out, playing with fire. Their defense was holding Chicago to field goals, like 21-6, 21-9. It's like you're still in control. But there's going to come a point where the offense has to kind of move the ball, get some first downs. Like, Chicago's going to score eventually, and that's what happened. I mean, it was just an all-around, just total nightmare in the second half on all three sides of the ball.
One name a lot of people in our comments are putting, saying deserves blame, but that we haven't mentioned yet is Jordan Love. So I want to ask, do you think this game is on Jordan Love in any way?
I mean, in any way, you have to a little bit.
Anyway, yeah, I mean, the offense the whole second half couldn't get a first down.
Yeah, he's not in my top 3, right? I'd say Halfley and McManus and LaFleur were above him, but like Love had 4 touchdowns. He had the drive to take the defense completely fell apart. Obviously, Love and the offense not doing anything was a big reason for the comeback in the second half. But I don't blame Love. I don't look back on this game and go, yeah, they have a quarterback problem. Like
Yeah,
that's
there
not.
were- this is my view too. They had no running game. There were a couple brutal drops from receivers. As you say, Jordan Love in the second half struggled, though he got that touchdown to go up 2 scores. But also, I think you have to give him a decent bit of credit for the first half, where he was basically unimpeachable. He got them into field goal range when they needed to get into field goal range, and there were 2 missed kicks. I don't. Some people are saying that like Malik Willis should be the starter next year because Jordan had a horrible game. I don't think you can look at any time where your quarterback doesn't turn the ball over and throws for 4 touchdowns.
I
and say
actually
he
think
was the
Love had a
problem.
good game. Yeah, I think Love played a pretty good game.
But
for the most
there
part.
is something. I mean, it was backbreaking that their second half possessions were punt, 3 and out, 3 and out, 5 plays punt, 3 plays punt before the golden touchdown.
But I mean, also too, like
I mean, that hurts.
Even on that last drive, like Love had a good last drive. Reed dropped a wide open ball. Like the Packers had a chance to go win the game.
I think if Jaden Reed catches that football, they
go and score.
Probably win. Like they were going to score on that drive, they just ran out of time. But why did they run out of time? Okay, let's take a look at why they ran out of time and what went wrong with that last drive. One, they were down 4 instead of either being down A, 3 if he makes the extra point, or B, tied if McManus makes the kick. Reed drops the pass, obviously. Reed had a nice catch a little bit later.
The injury.
You have the injury, 10-second runoff. Well, you would have had an extra timeout if you didn't blow it, running defenders on off the field being confused. That was another. I mean, they were blowing through timeouts, and I'm looking at the TV going, man, that like with the way this game is going, it could come down to a final drive here. And they had 1 timeout going into that. And
don't forget the Rasheed Walker false start either on 2nd and 10.
And then you have a false start and you set yourself back and now you're on the 28-yard line or whatever, and there's 7 seconds left. So it's a combination of all those things. And I think you said it, Jack, right? It's the perfect culmination of what this Packers year was, where you're watching this team thinking they can win the Super Bowl, and kind of inexplicably, it all blows up in your face. And a lot of that has to go on LaFleur because that's how the team's been all year. But would you fire him, Ziggy?
Here's the thing. Something has to change this year, right? Going into next season, because Green Bay has been doing this year after year after year. So, like, what are your choices if you're Green Bay? You can try and get rid of Jordan Love. I don't think that that's the solution. You can try and replace Jeff Hafley as the defensive coordinator. Well, the defense was good all year, and they played well for a lot of this game despite having injury after injury and not having the best personnel to begin with. You can replace Rich Bisaccia in the special teams. That's certainly going to happen.
Oh, their special teams was horrible tonight.
Yeah, that's certainly going to happen, but that's not enough on its own. And you also have to think who's responsible for the special teams being bad for the past 5 or 6 years. I think the only option to have a big change is to bring in a new head coach. And the offense has struggled at certain points. You need something big to change, whether that's Jeff Hafley becoming the head coach or something else.
Well, they don't want Hafley, dude, after that. They don't want Hafley to be the head coach right now.
Hafley was good for a lot of the year. He will get a lot of consideration, especially because the players know him, and generally he's been a good coach. Someone new is going to be the head coach.
Let me ask you. Let me ask you this right now: if you were a Green Bay Packers fan, in the comments, let me know. If I told you right now you could fire LaFleur and you could bring in John Harbaugh and poach Mike McDaniel as your OC, would you do that?
Of course they would do that.
Would they do that? That's just what I'm asking them. Well,
I'm sure.
Obviously,
I'm sure they would.
Obviously, the Mike McDaniel one is a step further. But yeah, would you swap LaFleur
I think they'd swap
Harbaugh?
LaFleur for Harbaugh. I think Harbaugh's a good.
Harbaugh's
a good coach. I think Baltimore made a mistake firing John Harbaugh.
It was.
Yeah, you can bring in Harbaugh, who has never had issues getting bounced early in the playoffs of good quarterback play and a collapse of his coordinators and being overly stubborn.
Would you take Hafley with McDaniel as your OC?
Without Mike Tomlin?
I mean, you could. There's a bunch of different combinations here. I mean, look, I will say the Viking fan in me, like, that game was going to be funny no matter what as it was going on. Like, it was going to be, it turned into a situation where in the first half, I'm not going to lie, I was loving the Bears' heartbreak. Like, I was laughing my ass off. And it kind of was like, yeah, daddy's home, belt to ass. It's like, and then all of a sudden when you see, I think I saw what was happening before a lot of people did. You heard me in the basement going like,
yeah, I didn't see it yet. You saw it before
I was saying, like, even when it was 21-6, I was thinking like, something's weird here. And then you get this collapse from the Packers, which is just, I mean, kind of their MO lately. And maybe it's funny as a Viking fan, but if I'm a Packer fan, it's like, how much more of this can we take? And maybe that does start with LaFleur. I said coming into the game today, there's no world where LaFleur gets fired. Maybe the world was being up 18 points and blowing a lead.
Do you think it's more likely he gets fired for this than getting blown out by Chicago?
I'm sorry, what?
Like, you said there's no world, and the only way is if they blow a lead. Do you think if they gotten just blown out by Chicago, he'd be safe?
No. So there were a couple worlds.
But you probably didn't see Chicago blowing out Green Bay.
I just didn't think that was gonna. No, but I didn't think it was. I think you feel differently in the moment, and that's why the people who are asking me, I was getting some text saying, "Should we fire LaFleur?" And my answer is, you got to take 24 hours. Right after the game, everyone's emotional. That was a very emotional game for several reasons beyond it just being a playoff game with the teams who were playing, the history of, just this season between them. You have to take a beat. If you polled Packers fans right now, obviously they'd all fire LaFleur. I think you got to take a step back. Season's over. You're in your off season now. You think about what you've been the past 7 years with LaFleur, however long it's been, and you say, do we think we can run it back with this group and go far?
I mean, it's also
with the injured guys coming back.
But why should you think that next year is going to be any different than what we've seen for the entire Matt LaFleur era?
Well, because you get Micah Parsons back, you're going to get Zach Tom healthy.
But when they had all those players back, all these problems were there too.
Tucker Kraft
will be back. I mean,
Kraft was their best.
They were
weapon.
having baffling losses and huge. This isn't a this year players got injured problem. All of the problems we're pointing to have been problems for his entire 6-year tenure.
Yes,
they were problems when they had Aaron Rodgers. They were problems last year. They were problems the year before.
So it sounds like you want him gone. It sounds like you want LaFleur gone if you were a Packer fan.
I think most Packer fans do.
Something like, I don't see why things would be different next year when you've seen the same problems over and over again.
I also do think right now, like what you were saying, Paul, it is right now is a heat of the moment type of thing. Is you just got knocked out after blowing an 18-point lead. Like, I'd probably be saying the same thing. I'd be like, oh yeah, Tomlin's dead. But like after you have a couple days to kind of relax and calm down, I think it could be different. I think most Packer fans right now will be calling for his head.
I mean, what's the reality of the situation is you lost your best player on defense who carried the team. You had offensive line injuries.
Kraft was a huge loss.
You lost arguably your best offensive weapon. Love missed multiple weeks to end the year. I mean, there were just like 7 different things, a bunch of different things that went wrong, and you still made the playoffs, and you were up 21-3. So the question I'd pose to Packer fans is, if you don't get Harbaugh, is it going to be better, you think, also, if you get, like, what other coach do you really want?
I've got something coming in my earpiece here. We have some breaking news.
Yeah.
They've renamed the city of Green Bay from Title Town to made the playoffs and was up 21-3 versus the Bears on the road in the wild card round town.
I hate to burst your bubble, but they were never even Title Town to begin with.
Look, McManus makes a couple kicks, they kick it, they walk off the game on a field goal right there. That's what happens right here. There were a bunch of reasons.
You're not if you're firing him because he lost the game rather than won the game, that's one thing. But if you're firing him because they've had structural issues for a lot of his tenure and they're not getting better, that's a different thing.
But also too, like, is it Matt LaFleur's fault that his kicker misses a 40-yard field goal?
And an extra point.
Or that
And is it his fault that special teams has been bad in Green Bay for 6 years and they haven't figured it out?
But like, is it Matt LaFleur's fault that Green Bay the entire second half on offense can't even get a first down?
That might be a little bit of his fault.
No, but I think a large part of that is is on the players. Like, who's on the field? LaFleur's not playing the game. It's Jordan Love and Josh Jacobs and Romeo Doubs and Jaden Reed. And the offense was awful. I don't think that all falls on Matt LaFleur.
It doesn't all fall.
You can't fire Jordan Love.
Well, I know that's the problem.
No, but they need to look. I mean, Bisaccia has been there, and their special teams is horrendous. But things that do fall on LaFleur are the guys
but
being prepared for the moment, and they weren't in the second half at all.
But
Clearly.
what doesn't fall on LaFleur is McManus missing a 40-yard field goal. Because if he makes that, you're in position to kick a game-winning field goal.
Yeah.
Then we're not talking about LaFleur being fired.
Yeah.
I think he gets a lot. He's getting like a lot of coaches do get a lot of unnecessary. Like when things go wrong, they're the easiest ones to blame. I think that's the case here with LaFleur.
It's a tough decision for the Packers, and it's going to be a prominent piece of discussion for the next week. Is what's going to happen with LaFleur here. I don't know right now. I would have been shocked again.
Like, is it LaFleur's fault that Jaden Reed dropped a wide open pass on the 20-yard line?
Yeah, and if he catches that, you probably run down the field, you clock it, and you have 40 seconds left.
What if they go win the game? We're not having this conversation.
No,
is it his fault that in the third quarter, when the offense can't move the ball, all he's doing is dialing up deep passes? When you have a big lead, you're trying to.
I think he was bad in the second half.
Yeah,
he was really bad.
I'm not saying that LaFleur takes no criticism.
Yeah, all I'm saying is just like there's two ways to look at this, and this is what the Packers are going to have to decide. Do you look at this as some freak mishaps happened, and they could have won this game easily despite being one of the more injured teams in the NFL in terms of star power? Or do you look at it as there's been a story the past 4 or 5 years of Matt LaFleur, and we need to try something new, and even if we don't know, it's going to be better? Right? Baltimore ultimately made the choice that despite Harbaugh being a good coach for them for 18 years, they just needed something different. Whether that's going to be better or worse, they don't know, but they had to mix things up if they want to reach the Super Bowl. And I think if you're Green Bay and the expectations are Super Bowl, the way I'm inclined to look at it is that Matt LaFleur has gotten enough chances, and they haven't even gotten very close.
Okay, so Ziggy's had enough.
Yeah,
like if Ziggy were rooting for the Packers and he was running the Packers, he'd be
I don't
gone.
think bringing him back is crazy. I don't think that like if they don't get rid of him, they're a bunch of idiots, and the whole front house should be cleared out for Green Bay. Like the front office has a tough choice here. But I'm inclined to think, and I've been a LaFleur defender. I said earlier this year that they need to see what happens this year, and people want him fired in the middle of the season. The patterns are just getting harder to ignore every year it happens. And you've got a Super Bowl window. I don't know. I think you got to.
But Ziggy, one question I have for you is: you say they have a Super Bowl window, and we'll get back to that because I want to bring up another Bears thing in a second. But you say they have a Super Bowl window. It has to be the right coach that you can bring in, no? Like, are you having a separate conversation with Harbaugh that's, hey, would you come here if we opened up a spot? Because I just don't know who else. Like, do you want to bring Kevin Stefanski in? Like who's do you want to bring? I was gonna say McCarthy. Like, who are you bringing in? I don't think you want Mike McDaniel coming in here. Like, what coach is coming in that you think will be better for a team that's ready to win than the guy who's been there and has gotten them? I mean, they were a really good team this year that had bad injury luck, and you have to think they win the division if they don't have everyone tear their ACL. So, like, what would you do?
I mean, you're talking about that it's hard to bring in coaches of a track record of proven success. Green Bay's coach is a track record of losing in the first round of the playoffs.
No, I'm saying, like, who are you looking at, though? Because if you just fire him and Harbaugh goes to the Giants, like, where are you turning your attention? Because you have to have a plan, no?
I think there's a plausible argument for elevating Jeff Hafley and bringing in somebody new as offensive coordinator.
Okay. No, I mean, and I know a lot of Packers fans want that.
The Packers, they know what they've got internally. I think if you think Hafley's a bad candidate and you don't like the guys on the market, yeah, you shouldn't do it. You shouldn't fire Matt LaFleur just for anybody. But if they think Hafley's an okay guy, or they think like Green Bay is a much more desirable destination than any other team that's available right now.
During the football
Would you rather go to like Green Bay or the Giants, which are widely seen as the best available coaching destination?
Like coach or living year round?
I mean, if LaFleur's fired, Green Bay and Baltimore are. I mean, I think Green Bay's probably the number one place. It's Green Bay.
Yeah, Green Bay only has to
Baltimore,
really compete
maybe.
with Baltimore.
I also think that there's so many people, and this is the tough. And this is the tough life you have as a coach. Is people like us. I don't think we quite understand.
No, clearly not.
like how hard it is to not only make the playoffs, but to advance, to win playoff games in the NFL and to go to a Super Bowl. There's only been 2 quarters, like It's been Patrick Mahomes and Tom Brady in the AFC Championship for the last 15 years. And nobody else has been there.
Here's one thing. Oh, sorry. Go ahead, Jack.
No, I'm just saying, like, it is near impossible. Like, reaching the Super Bowl and winning a Super Bowl, which is like every team's end goal, is a ridiculously. It's so much harder than a lot of people think. We look at the Packers and Jordan Love's go, like, this team can get there. Like, they're good. Like, they're ready to get there. Getting there is impossible. Only 2 teams do. So it's like, I don't know. That's the tough world of being a head coach and being in that position.
There was also a stat. Oh, I wish I could remember it right now. Like, John Harbaugh's teams are not, like, those are not the teams to point to and be like, those are the teams that know how to hold on to fourth quarter leads. I think, like, their record was, Ravens have one of the worst records in the league of, like, blowing fourth quarter leads under Harbaugh. So it's just like, you get rid of LaFleur and let's say you bring in Harbaugh, the big fish. Like, that's part of the problem with Harbaugh as well, is his management of fourth. Now, maybe the culture's a little bit better. But I don't think LaFleur is a horrible. Like, I think LaFleur is a fine culture. It's just, they have a problem with blowing these games. I just don't know who you can turn to right now that you're going, yeah, that's the guy I want instead. Because he does a pretty good job. I thought with what happened this year, the Packers did a pretty good job.
I mean, the grass isn't always greener. It's like you have a decent head coach who's gotten you to the playoffs pretty much every year he's been there.
To go back to, like, what Ziggy said, though, there does come a point, and this is the point the Ravens came with Lamar Jackson and John Harbaugh as a duo. At some point, you kind of go, okay, maybe this is the ceiling, though. And then maybe it is worth the gamble. Because, yes, Ziggy, you're right. It has been the same story for them. And, I mean, look.
They're always the 7 seed. They win at most one game, and that's that.
And I think most Packer fans would agree they're more talented than that. So, I don't know. Gutekunst has a very
always
tough
7
decision
seed.
here.
Sounds like somebody.
Yeah, sounds like. Well, would you fire Tomlin if you blew a fourth quarter lead?
No.
That's because you have no balls to do it.
But
in Pittsburgh, this is why they're not title town. They're happy with a winning record and making the playoffs and losing in the first round to some nobody.
Did we lose yet? I don't think we lost in the first round. You know what I can't wait for?
You said you had something you wanted to hit on the Bears.
I can't wait for in a couple weeks when Mike Tomlin gets the Gatorade poured on him, takes off his big Steelers winter coat, and he's going to be wearing a shirt that says, quote, "Fire Tomlin."
Oh, wait. Can you go walk over and hit that? We do have something we have to read off here as well.
Oh, God. All right.
Before we go back to the Bears.
Let me see if I can do this.
Yeah. This is, I guess, an ill-timed advertisement here, but let's see if Jack can actually do it as well. All right, Jack. The mouse is right there. Yep. You see that top? Yeah, you see that top eye? Yep. You're just going to click that. All right, Ziggy. You know what time it is. If you're feeling sad as a Packer fan right now, let me tell you what I do personally, and you're going to have to click it again, Jack. You may as well stay there. You have to click. When I have a terrible loss, what I do, and I'm not joking at all, I get in my car, my Toyota Corolla, and I just drive for like 35, 60 minutes at a time in one direction until I go, okay, I should probably turn around before I legitimately get lost or run out of gas or something like that. And it's very therapeutic. It's nice. Now, obviously, a lot of people listening to the show, I'm sure, have families. They're probably parents in here. Maybe you're not old enough to drive a car. In that case, maybe you should stick to the responsibilities that you have. But if you're not under those obligations, I might recommend going for a car ride, turning on your favorite podcast or some music, and just, rolling the window down, let that -5 degree air blow across your face. With that said, Toyota's all in all season, bringing back another year of Toyota Game Day giveaways. Football fans will get a chance to win epic giveaways every week of the season with prizes like Brock Purdy's favorite Sequoia, Jack, NFL shop merch, and more. Head over to toyota.com/NFL to learn more. That's toyota.com/NFL. No purchase necessary. Void where prohibited. This ends on February 8th, 2026. Open to legal residents of the 50 United States and DC, 18 and over for complete details. how to enter prizes and official rules, visit www.toyotasgameDayGiveaway.com. All right, Jack, you can hit that eye again. Great job, Jack. Lovely job as the assistant right there. You can do it. Just the same button you click. There you go. There you go. Nice job, Jack. Doing the job of producer Zach. Look, if you're a Bears fan, this is you didn't think it could get better than it did 3 weeks ago. That was as good of a win as you could possibly have. We came on here and we said, if you're a Chicago fan tonight, you couldn't write a better script.
I mean,
except for this.
What's going through the mind of a Bears fan?
I think it's too much.
After week 2, when you're 0-2, you lose to the Lions by 30. Green Bay's 2-0, looks flat out unbelievable. What if you told them that you will knock Green Bay out of the playoffs this year?
Hosting the game
as
the 2
seed. Bears win since they won the Super Bowl.
Hosting as the 2 seed. And probably the best Bears win since 1985.
They wouldn't believe you.
It's a party in Chicago tonight.
Against your arch rival. It's again. Andy had, I thought, one of the best tweets of the year from a NFC North perspective earlier today. I don't know. Maybe, Ziggy, maybe you saw another one, but the one that I saw, he said, it will either be ecstasy or pure, unadulterated heartbreak tonight, and there's no in between. And that was it for both fan bases. And in the first half, you could see it. If you just watched the reactions that our friends were having, it was heartbreak and joy. And in the second half, it flipped. And I think if I was a Bears fan right now, I'd might pass out. I'd pass out from overstimulation.
I think if the Bears had just gotten blown out, it would have been terrible. But it wouldn't have been as bad for them as it was for Packers fans. Blowing the 18-point lead?
What's the play that you guys would look back at if you're the Bears fan or Packers fan, right?
4th and 8.
It's got to be 4th and 8. That was it. The 4th and 8. I mean, there were so many you could point to because there really were. 4th and 8. That might go down in infamy in this rivalry. Yeah, I think the 4th and 8 play, Caleb is falling back. I mean, he was almost in a seated position throwing that football, running to his left. Was it Nixon in coverage? I think it was Nixon. Just from
Ziggy,
Nixon.
Ziggy, would you have made that throw, you think?
Oh, well, Ziggy makes that throw.
Oh, yeah.
You think he made that throw?
Yeah, Ziggy doesn't put himself in a position where he needs
I want to say that 4th and 8, everybody's going to remember that, but you also cannot forget the previous drive where you get 11-yard Caleb Williams run, 22-yard Caleb Williams pass, 21-yard Caleb Williams pass, and then he takes them right into the red zone and DeAndre Swift finishes the job. Obviously, that drive was really, really important. But Caleb played well in the drives leading up to that, too. He was just on fire in the second half.
Oh, if you're a Bears fan, you walk out of this now, and you're like, you're saying Super Bowl is on.
I thought
you're saying Seattle sucks. They're going to get bounced, and we're hosting the NFC Championship game. The Rams suck. Everybody sucks.
Oh,
we already beat the Eagles.
If you're a Bears fan, right now in my mind as a Bears fan, is we're not leaving Chicago until the Super Bowl. Seattle's going to get bounced by somebody.
They're going to get bounced by the Rams.
And we're hosting the next
two
games.
They'll get bounced by the Rams.
That's what's going through my mind as a Bears fan.
All right, Ziggy's got to get going soon because he's got things to do in Cambodia. We have no idea what. So let's hit these super chats real quick. From Ranger Halada, he says, bye-bye McManus. Dude left 7 points on the table.
Yeah.
Yeah, again, that's what it was. Brad Pletz, welcome to the PFS Army. Thank you for joining, Brad. Matthew Farrington, my brother, tech support fund. Thank you, Matt. Brad says, fire LaFleur. Brad may have become a member just to say fire LaFleur. I'm sure we'll get a lot of these here. Luis Portillo, just with a $5 donation. That's very nice. Demise, Brian Flores, and Mike McDaniel. Welcome, Green Bay. Enjoy. Oh, my God. Enjoy hell, Matt LaFleur. Hey, you know what?
He might go to Miami. That feels like hell.
Flores with Micah Parsons would be scary. Just something to consider. Jorge Martinez, we've been saying it all year. Fire LaFleur. Y'all kept defending him. I can't stand him. Special team sucks. He won't fire his buddy. He's playing not to lose that whole third quarter. Yeah,
this seemed like
a lot of what you're saying is right.
Final straw for a lot of these fans. Yeah,
18-point lead against the Bears.
Look,
the Packers don't do that to the Bears. That's pretty much what this comes down to.
Playing not to lose is exactly what Matt LaFleur did.
And he does it a lot. And it's
Yeah.
been a problem. I thought a couple times this year, right, against the Cardinals, he flipped the switch, but the Green Bay Packers don't blow leads like that to the Chicago Bears, especially in the eyes of the Green Bay Packers fans. And tonight and a couple weeks ago was embarrassing for their organization. On national television 2 times. Saturday night, they were humiliated by their little brother. That's the fact of the matter. And that's why you're going to see all week Packers fans calling for Matt LaFleur's head. That's it.
Ziggy, come next Monday night, Notre Dame's officially Indiana's little brother.
Stop it. We're not getting into this conversation. All right.
Richard Wirtz of the 10 gifted PFS memberships. Thank you very much, Richard.
Let me keep running through. Quasar says, I don't know how you keep LaFleur after this. It's another year of underachieving. Jermaine Mitchell, Ziggy is a Bears fan. Apology accepted.
Oh.
No, I'm not a Bears fan.
He said room on the bandwagon.
He said as a Bears fan, he accepts your
room
apology.
on the bandwagon if you want to hop on, Ziggy. I mean, there is something charming.
To make me a Bears fan?
There's something charming about this Bears team, even though I'm like,
Ziggy can't go from a Packer fan to a Bears fan.
I just like Weston. Our buddy Tim. I mean, there's a lot of Bears fans who are like. Kevin Kuhn says the difference that broke the Bears' way was that McManus missed 2 field goals and the extra point.
Yeah.
Again, Brad, it's time to let LaFleur go. 3-5 in the playoffs.
3-6
Jorge
now,
Martinez, I've said multiple times, you take the 2010 season away. I don't think any team has had a worse stretch of years this century. Packers
I don't know about that.
They had a lot of bad ones.
There's been a lot of heartbreak, though.
Jay Sanchez, Green Bay coming out of the second half and going 3 and out twice. Terrible. No, the end, the missed 55-yarder into the third quarter was just, I mean, you were so lucky to only lose the third quarter, I believe, 3-0.
That should have
just
been
wild.
The game should have been tied after 3 quarters.
Jorge Martinez again. The Bears blitzed the whole third quarter. LaFleur couldn't call a single good play. Love's 4 touchdowns should have been enough. You're right. Defense sold hard. Brad again. Low key. John Gruden as a coach again. I don't think that'll happen. Fruit Loops. Can you replace Matt? Ziggy? Can you replace LaFleur?
If the Packers call, I'll consider.
100%.
Kevin again. I don't even care about getting Harbaugh. I think bringing in McDaniel's OC with LaFleur fixes a lot. That could.
Ziggy, would you hire me as your OC?
I don't know if LaFleur's going to want to give up a lot of offensive control. He's been very resistant up until this point.
Dennis, I know this is embarrassing as shit, but I still think LaFleur does well with what he has. I don't know what happened to our O-line, but I don't subscribe to this next man up mentality, missing too many stars.
It's also fair. Like, it's reasonable.
The injuries were tough, and they kept going this game.
Ed Policy's not keeping LaFleur from Jorge Martinez. And remember, Gutekunst was the one who came out and said, like, the urgency needs to step up. Well, maybe that goes to LaFleur. M. Bloom, if they got blown out, you could blame the injuries. LaFleur does not get that benefit of the doubt because they had the lead. Culture's not right. Fair enough. You were dominating the game and you blew it. Goji Man, about damn time for Golden, by the way. That touchdown that he had, I thought won them the game.
Best game of Golden season, for sure.
Oh, amazing. Just an amazing.
He made me wonder why he didn't get more time this year because he was outstanding.
He was awesome. What do you have, 90 yards receiving and a touchdown?
Had the 4th down that saved the drive, right, when I thought they were going to win it. Jorge, again, rather have a bad year next year with someone new than going into the season. Something like this will keep happening. And Hafley, head coach, and bring McDaniel as OC.
I will say this, Ori, like, isn't this the same thing the Minnesota Vikings said when we got rid of Sam Darnold? We rather blow it up with a rookie QB than do this whole thing over again. I know it's head coach versus quarterback, but it's kind of the same thing we faced this offseason, Paul.
Yeah. It's a little different, though. Richard Wirtz, $50. Thank you, Richard. That's a very nice donation. Rough game, but I'm proud of them. We'll be back. Good luck going forward, Bears, and cheers, everyone. That's a very nice...
Great comment. It's a nice comment.
That's a nice comment. And it stings a little bit. The way you looked in the first half made you think the Packers could win the Super Bowl. Something that you can at least... It sucks to lose to the Bears like that if you root for Green Bay. The way they looked in the second half, I think the journey was ending in Seattle for Green Bay.
I would agree.
If they finished the game the way they did, like if they just blew out the Bears, then I'd say, okay, maybe we got something here. But the fatal characteristics of this team showed once again in the biggest of moments once again.
I mean, look, losing 4 in a row to end the year, playing a horrendous second half. Like, even if you do escape, the end of the road was probably next week.
But who knows?
That's what hurts.
Right.
That's
what hurts is who knows. Exactly. I know.
Dennis, why did he capitalize all ARE? I don't know.
He's wondering whether they are.
Okay, yeah, I didn't read the whole thing. I'm sorry. Okay, I'm sorry. Are we more talented? Though with that many big players on IR, if Kraft, Parsons, Wyatt are there, this game is in Lambeau.
It's also reasonable, yeah.
Yeah. Jorge
And
again.
you probably still blow your lead.
No, I don't. I think they were better than Chicago. Those two teams have had the same game 3 times. Like they're very evenly matched. Jorge Martinez. I've said LaFleur can't get a toddler fired up. He's great at making plays, but he isn't a good head coach. Can't get the morale up when we're losing. I mean, it seems to be a problem.
He's also won an enormous number of games as head coach. He doesn't suck.
He doesn't suck, but there's certainly the question of his performance in these massive spots. And I know you got to go, Ziggy, so I'll finish up here. SRM Scott. It's so great watching you cheeseheads sulk, by the way. Love played the entire game. Go Bears. Jay Willie, Packers fan here. I want Halfley promoted to head coach. McDaniel, OC. Would love him to work with Jordan and those weapons. Love the show. Thank you, Jay Willie. Really appreciate that. And it's not a bad suggestion. 3 more. Macaulay Productions. Indiana coach to Green Bay. Oh, Kurt Cignetti. No, Cignetti.
Not a chance.
Cignetti loves that school. Samuel Freeberg. Worst loss in history of the Packers franchise. Worse than all those NFC Championship losses. Manner in which we lost, and because it's the Bears.
Yeah, the Bears plays a big role.
This was, look, but for the people listening to this, I'm going to say right now, between you guys and me, it's been like the worst football season ever. And let's pretend the Paul Farrington show is an entity, like a person, right? And let's say that's a piece of me, like a Horcrux is a part of Harry, right? An evil piece of Voldemort lives in Harry. An evil piece of the Packers lives in me as a guy who runs a Packers YouTube channel for all intents and purposes. If you look at that, for me, Vikings, just the worst year imaginable. McCarthy, we learned nothing. The worst pick of any non-playoff team. Just a disaster. Notre Dame loses the 2 big games they have to the team I hate in Miami, which we're there for. Again, after waiting 8 years for that rematch. They win 10 in a row and get knocked out in crushing fashion. And then Miami goes to the national championship game. And they might win. And then the Packers lose the final 5 games of the regular season. The show's been stuck at 29.2K subscribers for a month.
At least you got the Steelers.
I mean, this is just the worst football season ever. I think it's the worst football season of my life. I'm rooting for you. I'm rooting for you now. Yeah, I'm rooting for you now.
Thank you.
Hype Television. At least the Packers pod will be at the Super Bowl. Yeah, I mean, I guess we got that going.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
For the record, Paul, we eclipsed 29.2 a couple days ago. We're now heading towards being below 29.
Yeah,
we've lost almost 100 subs since the game ended.
Look.
That's
it
not
happens. It happens. It happens. It happens, man. I mean, you have a loss like that. It happens.
I would tilt unsubscribe too.
We keep churning.
The people will come back. The people will come. I understand. I understand.
They're mad at the moment.
Justin Watson. Appreciate the Green Bay coverage this season. Rome love golden next season. That's a $50 donation from Justin. That's very nice as well. Thank you very much. Justin. Hey, you don't have to stop watching. I mean, we're gonna finish out. We'll finish out the year.
We'll be here. We're gonna be here.
We'll still be here.
Let's not forget, as we just heard, we'll be live at the Super Bowl.
Yeah, I mean, we'll be around. So it's okay. Like, we can still have some fun together. Just the Vikings are out. I mean, look, now we're playing with house money, guys.
I'm still in.
Yeah, we'll root for Jack.
I'm still in.
Can we root for Jack?
Yeah, come on. Hop on my bandwagon.
Bears Super Bowl. It should happen.
Root for Aaron Rodgers to beat the Bears in the Super Bowl.
All right, Ziggy's got to get out of here. Appreciate everybody for tuning in. I'm sorry so 2 notes. To the Packers fans, I feel bad for you guys. Obviously, there's a piece of me, the enjoyment of a Vikings fan watching that, but I feel bad for you guys. That was just a brutal end to a brutal year. The other side of things for the Bears fans, enjoy the magic, man. These seasons don't come around very often. They really don't. So enjoy it. Congratulations. That's one hell of a win. I mean, you guys have had a rough go for a long time. And this was it's like the best night of your life.
Sure is.
All right, we'll wrap it up there. We'll be back with more wildcard reaction. Ziggy, enjoy your day in Cambodia, and we'll see you soon.
All right, I gotta go.
See you,
Later,
Ziggy.
guys.
Peace.